South Africa and Africa in general has a very young population. We have the youngest population in the world. And our biggest problem in Africa is unemployment. For example, in South Africa, you have 100,000 young people getting into the marketplace every year. So for every year that you don't have work, your chances of getting work become harder and harder. So what is the solution going forward? If you look at most African countries, the biggest employer is the government. In South Africa, your biggest employer is the government. And the biggest problem with that is the minute economy and politics are mixed, automatically there is a problem. If you look at your so-called advanced economies, the biggest, an economy like Germany, your biggest employer is entrepreneurs. So we need to teach our young people to start creating employment for themselves, to start creating businesses for themselves. We tell them that, but the most common question I find when we do our entrepreneurship courses is, how do I start a business? So I will give you a 7-step process on how to start your own business. We will do a seven-step process of building your own business. Building your business. Okay? Number 1 here is identify a problem. This is the first thing that you have to do. Wherever there is human beings, and especially wherever there is a lot of black people, there is problems. So the more human beings we have, the less job we have, the more problems we have. So what I need you to do here is I need you to put your emotions aside. Wherever it is that you live, be it in the township, be it in the suburbs, be it in the rural areas, wherever you live, what is the problem? What is the most prevalent pain point for most people there that they will pay for it to get solved? If you live in the suburbs, it could be as easy as cutting grass for people that live there. It could be as making sure that the people that go running in the morning, the joggers are safe. If you live in the township, it could be as easy as getting cheap groceries. It could be as easy as making sure that your street is clean. It will be as easy as making sure that your street is safe. For example, let's say you live in a township where it's insecurity. Parents are so worried about their kids going to school. It's not safe on the streets. And you organize that. You organize yourself and other boys or whoever is in your neighborhood. You create these buffers or security zones to make sure that the parents get the peace to make sure that their kids can move from their house to school or to the creche or wherever safely. Trust me, if you can give them that security, in return, they're going to give you money. And it doesn't really matter how much it is, because the most important thing for me here is you need to start learning, one, how business works, because you have to learn how to sell yourself to these people. You have to know how to divide the money among the three of you. You have to know how to budget so that you can move with this money over a long period of time. And you have to learn on how to expand that business. If you started on one Vilakazi street, then it becomes easier for you to move into another area. Number 2 here, I need you to figure out a way on how to solve this problem. Figure a way of solving this problem. Just identifying a problem is not enough for solving this problem. This is where critical thinking comes in. The minute we think, we change how we think without emotions. And we start thinking in systems, so we start thinking in problem solution kind of thinking. You will find ways. How do I solve this? If people are struggling from a security point of view, because we have ladies that live in the townships and they finish work at 7 at Checkers, they finish work at Pick and Pay at 7 or 8. And it is dangerous for them from where the taxi drops them to get to their front door. And you create those security teams. Now, that's a business. if you create a way of making sure that in the morning when they leave the house to come to work, there is somebody that is patrolling to make sure that their houses are not broken into, that is a way of making money. Or if there is an area where consistently they don't have power. So you have to come up with solutions. Depending on what problem that you have in that area, you have to find out a solution. Number 3 here is, I need you to figure a way of delivering that solution. How do you deliver that solution? If people are hungry, then all of a sudden you have Uber Eats. Uber started purely as a transportation, means of transportation from A to B, but purely transporting warm bodies. But they realized that you have people that don't want to go out to get food. And we have these motorbikes that are just sitting around here. So if we get into a collaboration with the eateries, we can charge the eateries, then we can charge whoever is ordering the food, and we can hire or lease this contract to whoever gets the motorbikes. Now, you see, that kind of thinking makes it very easy for you to be able to get into business. So how do you deliver your product? You know, and your delivery has to be in a more efficient, effective way. And that's why I keep on talking about us talking in systems. What is the fastest, slowest? What is the fastest, most effective, efficient way of getting product from point A to B, or getting someone from point A to B? Then number 4 here is, taste what to name it. Name is important. Because the minute name is just not a name, you become what you are. That's why in the Bible you find God gives Adam the ability, all of a sudden, he gives Adam the ability. God names everything, but when Adam comes on the 6th day, God gives him the power to name everything. He names the animals, all these animals, and he even gives him the power to name Eve. The point of that is simple. Whatever you name, you become. So name resonates it's a very personal, intimate, emotional thing for people. Don't choose a name because of your ego. Choose a name that is a solution to the problem that you're trying to solve. When we talk about, let's say a very easy example, we're talking about Herbalife. You know, something like that. I don't have to ask somebody what Herbalife is. I know very well what it talks about. When you talk about things like Nando's, what is the meaning of the word Nando's? When we talk about Discovery Health. So choice of name, the unfortunate thing is when people are getting into business, they're so interested, they're so much in love with themselves that they try to force their name onto people. Nobody cares who Mululu X is. Nobody, believe me, nobody cares who you are. All that people listen to, there's only one airwave frequency they listen to, what is in it for me. And that simply means it's this name, what solution is it bringing to my problem? Number 5 here, you must make it easy. Make it easy to consume. Now, when we talk about consume, I'm not talking about, it does not necessarily mean food. If you're going, we call it the 3-point click. If I have to click 4 or 5 times to just find out how to contact you, or find out about you, what is it that you offer, or I go through all these pages and I'm going through books, I'm clicking online that I don't really understand what you're doing, you have a chance that you're going to lose me, because most people don't want to burn brain calories. They don't work for you at that point. And there's so many other people out there that are doing what you're doing, that these people will be very, very happy and comfortable to be able to pay their money to them. People want solutions, but they don't work for it. Now, remember, majority of human beings are lazy. That's why it's a problem to them. If it's a problem to them, there's only 2 ways a human being can solve a problem. The rich throw money at it, the poor throw time at it. Now, those becomes the 2 things that you need to be able to solve for them. Then, number 6 here, you have to make it good. If you're going to tell me that you're going to be supplying me or you'll be delivering meals to my house and my meals taste better than yours, I mean, that's not a business. There's a chance I'm not going to eat it. Whatever it is that you do, if you tell me that you're going to help me lose weight, your program and your system that I use, the way I train, the way I eat, the way you take me through the whole process has to be better than what I do myself. Because what most people do is they try to sell themselves onto someone, whatever the person, the product or service that the person is using is already far much superior than what you're trying to sell them. And that's where there's always a big discrepancy between price and value. People tell you it's too expensive. People tell you I can't afford it. Because what they're telling you there, they're saying that what you're asking for and what you're delivering don't match. So there is a big difference between those two. Value is what the customer gets. Price is what they pay. So the value should always exceed the price. Anytime you have a transaction between you and a customer or between two people or two businesses, what you're charging should always be less than what the other person receives. The other person should always feel the pain. They should always get that void in their life. They should always feel like they've lost out by not dealing with you. And then we have number 7 here you have to make it easier. Make it easier for them. Make it easier for the consumers, for them to share. For them to share your message. What does this do? This simply means how do you make it easy for people to want to work for you? How do you turn customers into raving fans? It's like you have to consistently, anytime they deal with you, anytime they use any of your products, anytime they're in contact with your service, it has to be just wow. You know, if you do wow once a week and the other 6 days of the week it's just normal. If we're going to agree that every Tuesday I'm going to give you $1,000 and you're going to deliver this marker to me, that's not, people always think that is being extra, you're going beyond the call of duty. No, that's what I paid for. But every Tuesday, if you come and you bring me this pen and you bring me an eraser and I come on the board and I find you brought me something else that makes it so much easier for me to erase whatever work I've done, now you're going extra, you're going beyond the call of duty. And the minute you start going beyond the call of duty, the minute you start giving more than what the customer is paid for, all of a sudden, automatically, this is a simple law, where it's a law of reciprocity. If I say hello to you, good morning, how are you? Automatically you feel better. Human beings, it is in us that if I'm nice to you, you automatically feel that I owe you something. My intention is also to be nice, and the easiest way if I'm using your products is to become your salesperson. I'm paying you, but I'm still your salesperson. Anytime I go out and I talk to my friends, I can't really stop about raving about you. So in the comment section, share with me which businesses do you have in mind, where here do you need help, and God bless you. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.